Welcome to the 14th episode of Subscriber Showcase. Something a little bit different with this one is that all the submissions have been sent through on Discord. Join me in this video as I look at some fantastic work in progress and finished builds that have been sent in by the community. Hi, I'm Matt and you're watching Model Minutes. So today's video is the 14th episode of Subscriber Showcase and it's everything that I've had so far on Discord. So make sure you've got yourself some snacks and you're sitting comfortably because it's going to be a good one. So if you're not familiar with Discord, it's an online chatting server and I've created my own one where we can all talk together in real time. And if you have a look now, you'll see that I've probably got a few people online. And currently there is about 100 people in the server. So no matter what time you log in, there's going to be someone here because we're all over the world. There's people in Australia, in America, in Europe. So you're probably going to find someone to talk to if you've got a problem. And down the side here, we've got absolutely loads of stuff that you can talk about. Things from modeling related to just general to gaming. So if you want to talk about something, there's probably a slot here. And down at the bottom here, you can even voice chat with people, which I have done on occasion. And just to prove my point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a message in here and see if anybody responds by the end of the video. So let's see, everyone, hey, who wants to be featured in a video right now. There we go, and we'll see if anybody responds. So let's start at the very top of the chat and see what people have sent in. We'll come back to this one because he actually posts it again lower down. But on here, obviously, there are these aren't necessarily the people's right names, it's just an on-screen name. So whoever you are at the time, thank you for sending it in. So Top Tubs has got this Spitfire and it looks really nice. I can't remember if you've sent this in to me as an email. If you have, I might have already shown it. I might show it again in the future. The thing with Discord is that sometimes the picture quality is not so good, but you can open the original one here. So if you come and join the server, you can come and click and it will open up a larger file. But for what we're trying to do today, this is absolutely fine. So rolling on down, Gopnik has sent in two of his best models so far. We'll take a look at those and they look really well done. And let's see what he has to say about them. We've got an SU-22, which is the tube of wings, and it's a Smur kit, and it went together really well. And the other one is an SU-25, and the other one is an SU-25, and he's got lots of good information there. So please feel free to pause the video, and we'll just have another quick look at those. And they look really good. I love the paint scheme. I love all of this decal work he's done up here because that looks brilliant. And to be honest, these are really well done models. So thanks very much for submitting that. Scrolling on down, we've got Martin. He's building his TS11 and you can see there a tip which I suggest quite often is using clothes pegs. I think he's just resting it there. I think he's just resting it on them at the moment whilst the glue dries, but you can use the clothes pegs to hold the kit together whilst it dries. Up next we've got Eastern Union and he sent in these amazing images of his tank. And I'm not entirely sure what it is, it's missing the tracks there, possibly a rundown and disused one, but as you can see it looks absolutely amazing. Oh, here we go, he's written it down here. It's a T-34, model 1940. It's a good build, has good detail, enhanced by photo etch. This is a work in progress for him. He's not quite finished it yet. He says he really enjoyed this one. And do you know what? This looks amazing. So thank you very much, Eastern Union, for sending that one in. Hopefully one day I'll be able to build a tank as good as that. Space Monkey has sent in a 1/72nd SU-27 flanker by Italeri. So he says it's a standard Italeri kit. It's got your raised panel lines. The instructions are not very good. It hasn't got the best level of detail, but generally it went together well and the decals applied easily as well. It says that it would be good for a beginner, but if you were an experienced modeler, you might find you have some problems with it. You might not enjoy it as much. And it does look really good. I like the staining here underneath where the engines are and the very distinctively differently coloured undercarriage bays. And then the top, you've got some really nice looking camouflage. We're just waiting for this to load because my internet's quite slow at the moment. And then a nice frontal view, and it looks really good. So thank you so much for sending that one in. And the good thing about Discord actually is that you can all comment about it as it comes in, and you can all write and you can all give suggestions on how to improve it. So we've got another one from Eastern Union. He sent in his Spitfire, and we've got some nice interesting images from different angles that we don't normally see. And you can see that the panels on the nose have been removed. The engine's possibly undergoing some sort of maintenance. And you can see that there's yet to be any decals added onto here, but we've got a nicely detailed engine. Scrolling on down, if the computer will keep up. Here we go. So this is another fantastic image. I love the weathering that's happened here. You can see all this lovely subtle staining from the engine. We've got streaks from various oils and greases and fluids that have been used in the aircraft over time. And you can see chipping around the areas which have a lot of wear and tear. And here we've got the final view of this aircraft. And I just love the way that he's done this one. So thanks so much for sending that one in. Up next, we've got Martin, and he sent in a limited edition Spitfire in 1/48 scale. And this looks to be a night fighter version. It's not quite finished yet. Still got a few more things to put onto it, but the paint seems to be really well applied. So thanks, Martin, for sending that in. And he sent in another one, and it's a Silver Hurricane. I quite like seeing aircraft in different paint schemes. I like them in fictional paint schemes. So don't feel that you have to build it as per the instructions, because I know I don't always do. So well done, Martin. That is a great looking kit. And then we've got the average Canadian guy, and he sent us his Airfix 1/72 scale Mosquito. And this one's been really well done as well. And it's in a night fighter paint scheme, and the decals, as you can see, don't seem to have any silvering, which you can get, particularly when applying them onto a matte finish. So he must have coated this with a satin or a gloss and then applied the decals and then re-matte finished it over the top. So that's really nicely done. Have you sent any more pictures of those? No, you haven't. So thank you very much for sending that in. Martin has sent us in a King Tiger, which I believe is the Zvezda 1/100 scale. And these are fantastic little kits to build, and you can see that he's done a good job of building this one. The only problem with these Zvezda tank kits is they don't always come with decals, which is a bit of a shame, because if you want to depict it in any particular paint scheme or as a particular version of a tank, then you have to go and source your own or make your own. Up next, we've got Bolt and Paul Defiant, who sent in his TBM-1 Avenger, and this is very nicely done as well. We've got some nice weathering on the wings here, on the I believe that's the gun port staining there. We've got a very neatly applied paint scheme, and the decals look great too. I particularly like that he's managed to get the aerial rigging on there, so that's something that I don't always do in my kits, but I do appreciate, as it can be quite a hard step to finish. And I think you've done a really good job of that, so thanks for sending that one in. Martin has sent in another one, which is his red TIE Fighter. And like I just said just now, there's nothing wrong with painting them in your own custom paint schemes, and I think there was even a red one in, Star Wars lore at one point or another. So modelling at the end of the day is about having fun, and it looks like you had a lot of fun doing this one, so thanks, Martin. Scrolling on down, Nikki has sent in this Churchill. And it's got a little crew figure here sticking out the top, looking around, seeing what's going on. It seems to be really well built. The paint scheme is nicely applied. It seems to be quite dirty. It's had a bit of weathering applied to it. I particularly like this one as it does have a crew figure. Not all tanks do come with them, or maybe you've got one separately. But thanks so much for sending that one in. It looks great. Moving on down. Average Canadian guy has sent in his Tamiya 148 A6M30. He says it's a good kit with almost no fit issues. The decals are printed well, but it's He says the problem he has had is that you're supposed to paint it in the instructions with XF76, but he says that you should use AS29 as the one suggested is a bit too dark. And there it is, and it looks really good. Neatly applied paint scheme, a little bit of subtle weathering on there. I don't think you've quite finished it. So thanks so much for sending that one in. Up next, we've got Convan, who sent in his Revel 1 to 144 MiG-25, and he says this was a nice, easy kit to build. And you can see on the wings there, he's done a bit of pre-shading, which is always nice to see. It helps give a bit of contrast and a bit of interest to the paint scheme. A little bit of subtle weathering in places as well. The decals are neatly applied, and the paint scheme seems to be really well done. So thank you so much for sending that one in. One of our regulars on Subscriber Showcase is Emil, and he sent in this Sherman. There's a nice little bit of weathering in a few places there. You can see it's not necessarily sort of clean and tidy around the track areas. It's got a bit of mud and grime, especially around the back here. And I like that he's picked out the smaller details in the relevant colours. So like the axe head here looks to be red, and generally this is a really nicely done tank. Up next, he's got a German Pak 40 and a half track to go with it, and a very interesting paint scheme on this one, and he's done a fantastic job of applying it. It looks to me like you spent a lot of time building this one, and you've really paid attention to getting all those little details the right colour. So thanks so much for sending that in. And this is his M8 armoured car, but I believe that was shown in the last Subscriber Showcase. So for more pictures on that one, take a look at number 13. KH2B has shown us his first ever model, which he built not long ago, and something that he did quite recently. So we've got a FW190 and a Messerschmitt 109, and another Messerschmitt 109 here. And you can see that it's all a learning curve. The decals have been applied. They're not quite as neat as some of the other people who send them in, but I mean, you've seen my first model kit and mine was absolutely atrocious. So it's all about learning and having fun as you go. The neatness and attention to detail will come with time, if indeed that's what you want to get out of the hobby. If you want to build just for fun, and I say that because here is a Hawker Typhoon, which has clearly been in the wars because it's on fire. So having fun whilst building your models is a very important part of it. And then we've got Space Fan, who's sent in his Tamiya P47, and it's actually on the sort of airfield where these things were originally built. And what I did was I took his picture and I cropped it a little bit and I made it sort of a bit bigger. That's all I did really. And it's a really nice looking model. So thanks so much for sending that in, and the fact that it's in quite a historically relevant location. So this is something I don't usually see, is the models outside in the real world using them as a backdrop. So that's potentially something that might look into in the future and see how it works out. Up next, we've got KV2, who has sent in a couple of submissions, which is his 172nd Tamiya FW190 and a 135 Nashorn. I believe that's how you say it. Nashorn? Something like that. So this armoured vehicle looks to be really well done. We've got some nice weathering in various places. And small details, and the crew are all in there as well. And it's always nice to see a crew inside a vehicle. And then the FW190, the paint job is absolutely fantastic. The decals are very neatly applied, and we've got some nice subtle weathering. And you can see in the landing gear bays where the paint has been rubbed off during maintenance and use. So thanks so much for sending those in. Let's keep going. Expender has sent in this, what is it? Does it say what it is? Unfinished Gundam figure. I'm not entirely sure what Gundam is. It looks to be sort of like Transformers and anime and sort of sci-fi all mixed up, and it looks like something that I might enjoy building. And he says it's unfinished, and you see there's a few areas here which still need a little bit of painting doing to them, but generally it looks like it's making good progress. That one ant has got a Airfix 1/72 scale Spitfire Mark 9C, which he brush painted with Hataka acrylics and weathered with oil paints, and he says he learned a lot, especially with the oil wash, since the first time he's ever done one. I tend to use acrylic washes in mine, I've not done any oil washes, but this kit looks fantastic. Those Hataka paints seem to be really high quality, and you can tell in the finished paint scheme here. The paint is applied really well, the recessed panel lines are quite clear. The decals are nice and neat, and this is an absolutely fantastic looking Spitfire. Everything is so neatly applied. This looks to be in a pretty much factory finish sort of condition. There doesn't seem to be any weathering or anything yet, but even then it looks absolutely amazing. Martin has sent in a couple of pictures of his old Airfix figure, and it looks to me like it's the one from the Faisler Storch kit, and you might notice that it's sort of missing its arms, and I think that was moulded that way in order to fit inside the model. He does look particularly unhappy, this guy, but you can see that a little bit of time has been taken to actually get the relevant details. There might not be that many details, but he's trying to pick them all out, so thanks Martin for sending that in. Holy Crusader has sent in a G4M, which he built with his dad. And it's obviously hanging up, the landing gear's retracted, and it's dropping one of the rocket-powered kamikaze planes that the Japanese were using towards the end of the war. I love all of the chipped paintwork on here, around all the panel lines. It seems to be really well built, and I love that you've got it in a flying display. It's not something we see very often, and it's something that I would like to do more of, is hang my models up. So, you know, with my wife's permission at some point, I'm sure I'll be able to do that. Or even without her permission, I'll probably do it. Moving on, Tom has sent in this Russian aircraft. I'm not entirely sure of the particular kind, so if you know, make sure you put it in the comments down below, but thanks for sending it in because it looks great. And then Nathan has sent in this YF-22A Lightning, or the F-22 Raptor. So this was a pre-production aircraft, and you can tell that it doesn't quite look like the one that they have in use today, but he's done a really good job of this one. I like the different variations to the paint here, so you can see that it's sort of like still in the works. It's still you know, being developed by whoever manufactured it. So well done for representing that. Martin's sent in his King Tiger again. We've seen that one earlier. So we've got a work in progress now from Kiwi Scale Modelling, which is the Airfix 1/72 Bristol Beaufighter TFX. It's all brush painted, and a 8B pencil was used to pre-shade the panel lines, and then 3 coats of Humbrol acrylics were applied on the top. And the weathering and the panel lines look really good on this. I love the streaks that you've managed to achieve there. Flipping over to the other side. So the decals are yet to go on, but the paint scheme looks absolutely brilliant. So I hope that this one turns out all right for you. Martin has sent in pictures of his Brumbar, but I'm not sure what scale it is. Perhaps this is his Zvezda one, because it looks to be quite small, and he's displayed it on a little base of sort of gravel or sand. And this looks to be really well done. The decals have been applied and they've got no silvering behind them. There's nice bits of weathering going on there. And the paint isn't all the same colour, so there's different shades. So thanks so much, Martin, for sending that in. It looks really good. And that's it. That's where we're up to. So let's see who managed to message me back. So all of these people have just messaged the Discord. So when I say, you know, you can chat in real time, then that's exactly what's happened here. These guys have all messaged me. I've got 48 new messages. That's crazy. See, they'd love to be. Oh no, got another one. Got another submission. What is that? Is this a King Tiger or a mouse? Something like that. The painting on that's really well done. So thanks, Nathan. Nikki has sent. Oh, we've got some more tanks. So This is the beauty of Discord, is that you're just there doing your own thing, and you message people and they message you back, and you get answers and you ask questions and you can get replies as soon as you send a message. And this tank looks absolutely brilliant, so thanks so much for sending that one in. Oh, still more images. There you go, loads of images there. Nice little bit of weathering in various places. We've had that one. And people are still messaging me. Okay, right, so I'll message you back at everyone. That's all. Thanks, guys. I'll need to send it. There we go, send. When you see the video, you'll understand. When you see the video, you'll understand. Cool. So whilst these guys message me for the next half an hour about being confused about what's going on, I'll sign off there. As always, if you'd like to send your stuff in, this is how you can get involved. Number one, make sure you subscribe to my channel. 2, email modelminutes@hotmail.com any high quality pictures, video, text or audio of your work, or if you're in the Discord server, you can pop them in there like everybody else did. And 3, just wait for the video and eventually it will come out. As always, honourable mention to my patrons over on Patreon. A massive thank you to you for the support that you give my channel. To find out more about the perks that you get when you pledge your support, take a look at the links in the description of the video. All that's left to say is thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the workbench again next time.